Hey everybody, I'm Anthony.
I'm Tim.
I'm Joey.
And I'm Chris.
We are DarkStar. Today we're going to be watching Death Battle, Fox versus Bucky O'Hare. I don't know anything about this guy.
Me either.
I legitimately thought when I saw the title that it was like Fox versus Peppy. I forgot his name. And Bucky, I mean, he's a buck. He's a male rabbit or whatever, so I thought maybe that was his name. Bucky O'Hare, but apparently not. I think it's Peppy Hair, so
Peppy.
way off. Way off. But, yeah. When I first saw that, I was like, I mean, Peppy's going to get ass stomped, I would think. Like, Star Fox is Star Fox. Peppy's just like the side guy in the game or whatever, so I was pretty sure. But, yeah, I have no idea. I literally know nothing about this character. I've never seen it, never heard of it, don't know the games, nothing. The only thing I know is that I saw that.
Game.
Oh, okay, so it's a cartoon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was a comic book first that got adapted into a cartoon.
All I saw was the title of a fucking something that said, "Is Star Fox a ripoff of Peppy O'Hare?" when I was picking up these pictures. So Bucky O'Hare, yeah. Peppy O'Hare.
So I think he's going back to Peppy.
I don't know what the fuck's going on right now. I'm gonna pray there's some bias going on in this one towards the character that I feel like most people know.
I hope so.
I mean, where the fuck is Bucky O'Hare even from?
I'm gonna say he's a comic book character, and he's kind of got the same thing going on, except they're basically fighting for animal rights, I believe, like animal freedom.
Oh man,
It's
if
like
this
their
is
whole
sponsored
thing.
by PETA, I'm picking him. Apps hands down. I absolutely will pick him.
I don't think he's sponsored by PETA personally, but I do think that obviously Bucky was first. It was a comic book that was written way back when. I can't remember the date, but I remember seeing it. I was like, Jesus, that's old. But yeah, and so it's intergalactic. He's got his band of fucking critters with him, and they fucking fight for animal freedom. And
I remember.
they even have like a robot. It's got like it's literally a neck and an eye. That's all it is. Like there's some. I think his name is Blinky. Yeah.
I remember, along with Super Mario 64, Ocarina of
Very good.
Time,
Amazing
and
game.
Banjo-Kazooie. Along
Great
with
game.
those three games, I
Love
played
it.
Star Fox 64 a fuck ton. Like, a
Mhm.
lot.
I've
Like,
never
That is
played
the
because you
game
can-
I was playing when I was midway flying. I don't remember exactly what Star Fox it was. I was midway flying, and my Dreamcast literally fucking melted. Like it literally just started breaking down. Just like the graphics started just sliding down the screen and shit. And I was like,
Was that on Dreamcast?
it literally just did not work again after that.
Did it come on Dreamcast?
There was a Star Fox in Dreamcast.
Did
This is the
not know
first
that.
time I ever bought one, and the last time I ever got one.
I had it on
After that, my dad was like, GameCube it is.
had it on the 64.
Dude,
And
Dreamcast, Tony Hawk Pro Skaters, where it's at.
you
You guys are old,
you
man.
get to go planet to you get to kind of decide like your path, and like depending on what you did in the levels or how well you did or like whatever, there were like secret paths and stuff. And at this point, there wasn't like I mean, I had to have been like 8, and there wasn't like some sort of go on Google and see how to get the best path. Like that wasn't a thing. You fucking if you bought the guide, then maybe you could get it if there was a guide. But other than that, like you had to just play and figure it out. Maybe word of mouth, like, oh, you know, your friends play it too, like, oh, they might be able to tell you something or whatever. And I remember the first time you get told about how, you know, the Star Fox's team, Peppy, actually from his team or whatever, worked with his dad, Star Fox's dad. And his dad, you know, died when they were fighting the main bad guy, Andros.
Spoiler alert.
And
Yeah,
You
dude,
go
someone's about to
through-
go pick up fucking 64 and
Yeah.
play this shit tomorrow. Dude.
yeah. And so you go through. So I had beaten the game a ton of times, and finally I get the one where you fight. I think this is the one you're about to go fight to Andros's planet or whatever. But first, Wolf and his squad show up, and you have to fight him one time before that, but they come back at the very end, and you have to fight Wolf's squad again. So it's your squad against Wolf and his squad or whatever. And if you beat them, and then you go to Andros and you beat him in a specific way, or whatever, at the end, instead of just the game ending and you get away or whatever, you're trying to get out of the place, because it's kind of like I don't know. It's one of the ones where you beat the boss, but then you also have to like escape from the area. Well, in
Mhm.
this one, you start escaping from the area, and all of a sudden, Fox's dad shows up, and he leads you out. And I remember the first time I saw that, it was the craziest thing that had happened in like a game at that point for me in my life, where just all of a sudden the story was like, holy shit, his dad's actually still alive, and he fucking leads you out, and you never see him again after that or whatever. And Peppy, who had worked with him, was talking like, holy shit, you saw your dad or something like that. It was crazy. So
I think
I don't feel like they said, "Holy shit, you saw your dad."
he said that exactly. He said, holy fuck, do a barrel roll, you saw your dad. And it just made it one of, I'm heavily biased towards Star Fox here, because that was one of the best games for sure on the 64 when I was growing up.
I think most of us are going to be biased towards Star Fox here, solely for the fact that none of us, besides me, know anything about Bucky. So, but honestly, I think that we take for granted actually how advanced video games were back then. Like, just recently, I've been playing Final Fantasy VII, and there's this one part where you sleep in this hotel, and you're visited by Eris, and she asks you out on a date at the Golden Saucer. It's like this huge theme park. That was a long time ago. I can't remember the fucking date that fucking Final Fantasy VII came out. But in that game mechanics, if you aren't nice to Eris or haven't really been doing anything with her, she does not come visit you. Whoever you've been showing the most attention to actually comes and visits you and asks you out on a date. That's crazy to me. Because my first playthrough, I got asked on a date by Barrett. Barrett showed up and was like, oh, hey, Claude, you
You want to put that dress back on and come
Swear
to
to
the
True. And I was like, why the fuck is Barrett just showing up in my fucking hotel room late at night? This time it was Tifa showed up. And then I was sitting there, I was looking into my fucking strategy guide because I got the original strategy guide. It was like, Eris will visit you, but as a game mechanic, it's whoever you show the most attention to is the person that actually ends up visiting you. I was like, that's crazy. Like, that game is that old. And there's a mechanic like that in that game. Same thing with the Star Fox thing, being able to have the different paths and beating things a certain way. Like, I think we take that for granted.
It's
like,
not even
these days. I would be surprised if a game doesn't have that in there.
Well, not
that's
just
the
not
mechanic
just
that's
that.
not in there.
It's not just that. It's the fact that like the culture has shifted so heavily because it just was, and maybe the culture would have. I mean, the culture definitely would have been like that back then too. But like I was saying, you can't just go on Google and see stuff. So like the culture now, and it's not necessarily wrong or right or anything like that. But the culture now is, you pick up a game, you beat it the first time through, and then that is the accomplishment. You beat it without any help going the first time through. After that, now the culture is, now that you've beaten it, it is perfectly acceptable as a gamer to go on and see all the different little things, and now you can go back through and get all the different. You can 100% the game, and that's how people play games now. It's like you can look it all up now. You beat it one time, so you're good. You don't have to like try to fucking figure it out or whatever, which is fine. I mean, that, like I said, that's just how it is now. But back then, it wasn't like that because it literally wasn't available. You couldn't do that unless you bought the guides or whatever. So you had to just keep playing the game and figure it out yourself or whatever. So it was just a completely different generation of how you played the games. In terms of discovery, it was better.
Oh, I hate sounding old, dude. It's hard to believe. Like, I was looking at the official date. It's hard to believe that we're millennials, dude. Because I feel, especially our gaming history, like the way that we did games back in the day, like I definitely feel we're Gen X, dude. 100%, dude. But our fucking, like, us actually being millennials blows my fucking mind. Because that seems like this whole fucking constantly watching people play games and constantly having cheat codes and being able to just access every single bit. Like, as soon as the game drops at midnight, the motherfuckers that have had the game for 2 weeks already have like a full written game pack up on the fucking site for you to look at. The day it's fucking. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, Game Shark and shit. Dude. Like, I don't feel like we're millennials, dude. I definitely feel like we're like the Gen X fucking, Oh my god, dude! It's just crazy.
It's not just that either.
Nuts to see where games are, dude.
It's like it's not just that either. It's like legacies, like even stuff that wasn't true in gaming. People would talk about it, and people would just say, "Oh, that is true." Like, because there wasn't like, once again, you couldn't just pull out your smartphone and be like, "Oh, is it really like that?" No, it's not.
Dude, Master Chief was totally born on fucking June 2nd.
But back then, it'd be like,
totally
"Oh my
Gemini, dude."
Like, I remember like the Mew thing. Like, it was a Mew thing or whatever. And there was like 50 different rumors on how you could get Mew in Pokemon.
Oh my god, yes, dude.
And there are actually ways to get Mew or whatever, but some of the elaborate, crazy fucking things that were going around, at least at like my schools, telling people like how you would get Mew, were like absolutely completely false. But people were like, no, you got to do this, and then you go talk to this guy, and you go do this. You got to do this, and oh my god, it's amazing. And then you get all 151 Pokemon, and it's like,
yeah, dude, you have to sell all the Pokemon you have now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All
right, 3, 2, 1, start.
In the depths of space, who knows what awaits mankind?
Probably some brain-sucking aliens who need an introduction to my fist.
But what if the final frontier was a little more furry?
Fox McCloud, captain of the Star Fox Commandos.
I missed that ship, dude.
And Bucky O'Hare, captain of a galactic-wide rebellion.
Really? The only thing I know about Fox is that
and it's our job
he's got
to
a laser pistol,
weapons, armor,
and he's good at flying this
who
spaceship
would win
thing.
a death
barrel roll,
battle.
bro.
Dude, he's got.
I didn't even know that was his shit.
He's got mines and a shield and all kinds of shit.
In his youth, Fox was a pilot prodigy studying at the Cornerian Flight Academy. He was raised by his single father, James, who founded a team of mercenaries known throughout the universe as Star Fox.
With Pigma, the ugliest pig you've ever seen, and Peppy, a rabbit older than the greeters at Walmart.
But it wasn't long before something
that's
went
right.
horribly wrong.
That fucking pig guy they just showed betrayed their dad. That's why their
Lilac
dad
system had endured decades
lost
of
to
peace,
Andros.
but rumblings of civil war stirred.
That's the map,
the Empire
dude.
of Planet Venom was rising with their new
Yeah, it
leader,
is, dude.
Andros.
A giant evil monkey with Rayman hands.
Fearful of triggering a civil war, the Cornerian Republic secretly hired the Star Fox freelancers
Dude,
to
Rayman?
investigate.
What?
But upon arrival, James was betrayed by Pigma, who was secretly in league with the monkey mogul.
Which is why pigs are for eating and nothing else.
That motherfucker.
Outraged at the Cornerian government for refusing to respond, Fox McCloud abandoned the academy. Under Peppy's wing, he formed a new Star Fox team alongside fellow dropouts Falco Lombardi and Slippy Toad. The result was a squad like nothing seen before.
Falco's shit.
Falco's such a dick in the games, dude.
Yeah, he is.
64 at least.
He's such a badass
Yo,
Smash Bros.
this is your game.
Dude, this is the shit, man.
Fox
Back in the day.
64. I don't know what that first one
Starfighter
was.
with a lot
Is
of
that the first Star
power.
Fox?
It has twin plasma lasers and can carry up to 9 smart bombs, each of which can take out an entire squadron in just one shot. It also creates a reflector shield when Fox does well, you know.
Do a barrel roll.
Actually, a barrel roll is when the plane spins in a helix,
Yeah!
as if wrapping around the outside of a barrel. Fox's trademark maneuver, in which he spins the fighter in place, is technically called an aileron roll.
Can't let you do that, wizard.
No, you
Do
shut
what?
the fuck up,
Ruin the
Wiz.
joke.
Don't you dare destroy
Regardless,
my
the R-Wings are
childhood.
equipped with 4 advanced G diffusers, which reduce gravitational forces on pilots in flight. Even so, the ultra-fast R-Wings exert enormous pressure. Exposure to intense G-forces causes blood to drop from a pilot's brain to his feet. To prevent this, and thus fly their R-Wings to the best of their ability, the Star Fox team actually amputated their legs, replacing them with cybernetics.
Holy shit, that's some hardcore dedication.
Just wear G-suits. They wear today.
When Fox isn't engaged in an aerial fox fight, he relies on his trusty blaster pistol, which he always carries. This little beauty has been heavily modified over the years and can charge up a super powerful shot.
Fox also carries 2 portable G diffusers. One acts as an all-purpose reflector,
Music,
so he
though.
cannot move or attack while using it. The second is a booster pack for highly maneuverable flight. These G diffusers allow Fox to manipulate his own gravity to perform 2 superhuman fighting moves.
That was like
the Speedy
that
Fox
was like the
Illusion
coolest Smash map.
and the Fire Fox.
Fox has taken down entire
Pokemon
armies
one
on his
changed
own.
over
And
again.
unlike dear old dead dad, he's defeated Andros not once, but twice.
He is absolutely fearless, though he often relies on his brainier wingmates to handle strategy and intel.
Cause when he comes up with a plan, he ends up falling into a black hole. Clever like a
Rely on
fox, my
Slippy for
ass.
anything.
Regardless, he has proven himself more than capable of saving the day on his own time and time again. He is the leader of the 2nd generation of Star Fox, the greatest commando team in the galaxy, and that alone should prove one thing.
You don't fuck around with
I think
Fox
Guardians beg
McCloud.
to differ.
I see him up ahead. Let's
Fucking
rock
that's
and
gonna be
roll.
the next battle. Fox versus Rocket.
Rocket all day.
Dude, Tony would definitely pick Rocket over Fox.
I know what you're thinking. Just who is Captain Bucky O'Hare? Well, prepare to be reminded
Yup,
or introduced
exactly.
to the greatest cartoon rabbit since Bugs Bunny.
Oh god. They got the music though.
Who else could it be? But the animal adventurers from SPACE. Bucky! Captain Bucky O'Hare. He goes when an ordinary rabbit would dare. If your
first rap
righteous
started.
indignation has suffered a hit, and your photon accelerator is broken
Bucky's
to
got
bits,
some thunder
and
thighs,
your
dude.
mind, and you're having a fit, get the
Oh,
Bucky
chubby.
Fast
Bucky's
Rabbit
on
to
this.
take care of. It's Bucky! Captain Bucky O'Hare. Bucky, that's Bucky! Bucky O'Hare. Let's croak us some toads.
Bucky, got
Wow.
your hair. Oh, the 80s.
Graduate of the esteemed
Well, that
Genius
explains
Academy
that.
and trained in combat by the mysterious warrior Dameron Jabak, Bucky O'Hare and his motley crew defend the Aniverse, yes, the Aniverse, from the evil Toad Empire, who are basically amphibian Nazis. If Hitler was Skynet.
I bet you want to watch the show now, huh?
Do I have your undivided attention now?
Bucky captains the best named spaceship of all time, the Righteous Indignation, which is now the new name for my penis.
This tough frigate needs a
It'd be
full
Righteous
crew to operate,
Indignation,
but
then?
its pivoting maser cannon packs a deadly punch.
Enough about my genitals, Wiz. Let's get back to the rabbit. Bucky's no slouch on the ground. He always carries one automatic laser pistol, powerful enough to slice through solid metal. He also brings along 2 energy grenades. When detonated, the resulting blast is massive.
Bucky also wears a very reliable jetpack, which is fast enough to apparently outrace explosions. The velocity of a detonation can reach over 2,000 meters per second. This means in 0G, Bucky's jetpack can reach speeds over Mach 5, which would turn any normal rabbit into mush.
But not this fucking fresh rabbit! And yes, that's a direct quote.
Bucky will avoid a fight if he can, preferring to outsmart his opponents rather than resort to brute force.
Got some serious pondering to do.
However, he's a skilled martial artist, an expert marksman, and his acrobatic ability is legendary. He can leap well over 100 feet in the air with a single hop.
He's a cunning warrior and leader.
Holy
Bucky is
shit.
responsible for constructing a massive galactic-wide army to combat the Toad Empire, and succeeded in dethroning their robotic ruler complex not once, but twice.
Anyone who would dare to fight should beware the deadly Captain Bucky O'Hare.
Attention all hands,
I get to
battle
choose for
stations.
Joey this time, I think.
I mean, I really don't care. You can if you don't do.
All right, the combatants are set.
All right, Joey, you're the only one who picked Bucky, so why don't you? Actually, before you do, I just want to say they brought up the. They kind of said that Bucky fought a little bit smarter, used
That's
plans and
literally
stuff,
what I was gonna pick.
and Fox kind of didn't, and he kind of relied on his teammates in terms of that. But I still don't think that Bucky's gonna be able to out Fox Star Fox though.
It's fucking good.
All right, go ahead, Joey.
No, that's really the only reason. I could have fucking tossed a coin and went with whoever, but because they said he was smart and cunning and uses like smart tactics instead of going like straight in there and doing whatever random shit, that's what I'm gonna go with.
They say he has really good acrobatic abilities and stuff, but it also said that he
And-
lacks defensive abilities.
I think his jetpack's gonna come into play too because they went into a whole fucking mathematical explanation. He can outrun a fucking explosion, and that's 400 kilometer mile, whatever bullshit. And I feel like it's gonna come into play somehow. Like maybe it boxes a grenade
I
or
wouldn't
something,
be-
or barrel rolling.
See, I wouldn't be surprised if they went the other way, where they said even with them cutting off their legs, the amount of force that they can put on their body means that he can withstand XYZ or whatever amount of tons of force or some
I didn't think
bullshit.
about that. It's pretty smart.
He's
Well,
also
maybe
got
not.
a
his
shield.
bonus.
And G suits are OP, man.
I just don't know enough about Bucky, so I don't know. Basically, even with what they said, I didn't get enough information for me to kind of know. And most
got
of the
that
time, you
badass
see
bomb.
Star Fox in his fucking jet. So I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I watched our Star Fox Adventures or whatever. He's out of it, and he fights like, I mean, he's pretty strong, and obviously in Smash Bros. He's really fast. So I feel like Star Fox should have an advantage in terms of
In his jet, I think he's definitely going to have the advantage. But when they're out of it, I don't think he will.
I mean, I heard a lot about Bucky, but I just didn't see anything that really stood out to me that should put him over Fox in my mind. And to be fair, that could be biased off the video games that I've played and stuff like that. But I just don't have anything that stuck out to me that saw like, yeah, this would definitely be something that Star Fox would have to worry about. So I mean,
Catch him
other
in a
than
fox
obviously
trap,
the
dude.
fucking, yeah, definitely the one whole thing is that I was worried about was just the fact that I feel like Screw Tech has a tendency to pick people who have, smarts and shit like that whenever it comes to battles and stuff. But other than that, like I just didn't see any feats that Bucky had or anything special that Bucky had that was like, yeah, Bucky's up here and Star Fox is down here type deal. So
Other than the using strategy or whatever argument, the big thing that made me choose Fox was that he actually has a defensive move and Bucky does not.
Yeah, that's pretty smart, probably. I just feel like what I saw from Bucky's stuff, and maybe I missed some, it looks to me like Fox has fought and beaten significantly more powerful enemies.
yeah,
Dude, it
Like-
said
Kinda
that
feel
fucking
like that
Bucky
too.
stopped the Toad Army, dude.
Bucky's main thing is
Total.
fighting a bunch of frogs or whatever, basically. I mean,
Starfax has a frog on his team.
Starfax.
So.
Starfax.
Starfax, yeah. Indeed.
Starfax, dude. Get your Starfax on your car.
see that fax out there? All right, 3, 2, 1, start.
Bray was here. We'd have one more mess up.
Wait,
We're heading out. All aircraft report. This is Peppy. All systems go.
Don't forget me.
It's gonna be team versus team.
Slippy, what are you doing? Hurry up!
Don't worry.
Slippy's about to die.
Attention all hands, battle stations.
Huh? Slippy, watch out!
Oh, because she's a frog. That's funny. That's fucking funny. I didn't even think about that.
Mission accomplished.
B. Oh my god.
Scratch one boat.
There's
One more to go.
Good luck.
Nice. Did
Random ass planet.
really enjoying this?
Come on. Forward. Toad, yeah.
Kind of pathetic as hell.
God, I'm thinking through that circle in time.
Oh shit. What does he have left? Just lasers.
Firefox.
Oh, damn.
Firefox doesn't kill him. He's gonna lose.
I was like, shit, is he just gonna fucking kill him like that?
I think I made a
Oh,
mistake.
the grenade. The grenade. He's got the grenade left, I think. That's it.
Toad, yeah.
He just puts on his back right now. What? He's holding on to him?
Oh, that's the thing, the reflecting thing. You just can't move while you're doing it. Oh, he just got blew up pieces. Oh, he did.
Blue's legs off.
Legs. What just happened?
He's not dead, dude. But a jet,
They're gonna
jet
choke
might
him to
not.
death? Oh! Oh!
Damn. Man.
That's brutal.
Calamity and
What happened?
If I was a
and
Bucky
woe
O'Hare fan, I'd be so
Bucky's
pissed.
long-awaited
Yeah.
spotlight didn't last
Can't be
long.
doing no,
Considering
no legs.
foxes eat hares, I'm not surprised.
Right. First off, yes, the R-Wing trumped the righteous indignation, as its weaponry, shielding, and maneuverability were simply outclassed.
But not before Krogan, the worst toad of all time. I love this job. Bucky's ship is a tough old bird, so a fight to the finish on the ground was inevitable.
Both Bucky and Fox had blow-by-blow counters. Fox's reflector and Bucky's acrobatics could avoid laser fire. Fox is fearless, but Bucky is cunning. Fox is faster on land, but Bucky is faster in the air. The deciding factor was experience.
Fox has been a major player in more wars than Bucky, and single-handedly ended all of them.
At his own request.
I'll go it alone from here.
Like a real man. Fox. Foxman.
Also, Bucky always had a squad of troops at his back during ground combat. But when Star Fox does an away mission, Fox is usually all on his own, even when fighting an entire planet of dinosaurs.
In the end, Bucky choked.
The winner is Fox McCloud.
Yeah, I mean, I have no complaints. It could have went either way from me, so.
Next time.
I'm not upset about not getting it right.
I mean,
I just don't know what happened after he got his legs.
Yeah, I don't really know what.
He put a jetpack on
and just went up to him.
Oh, that makes sense.
Flew up. That's what that was.
I mean, it's weird that he can dodge him when he's got legs and he's flying with a jetpack, but he can't fucking dodge him just fucking coming straight at him with the jetpack.
Maybe his jetpack's too fast or something.
It's whatever. I mean, it's part of the battle. That doesn't make a difference to me. But I think the ending where they showed him fucking fighting the dinosaur or whatever, like just flying over this T-Rex and, I mean, presumably fighting, you know, in that scenario, kind of shows what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the differences.
Kind of people
like,
he went against.
I feel like that seems like a reasonable scenario for Fox to me. And the cartoon thing, the clips that they showed from him, it seemed like he was fighting against frog people, basically. Like, nothing, I don't know, nothing crazy from what I saw made me think that he was like some galactic, you know, powerhouse or something like that that could fight these different things on different planets and stuff, just fighting against a frog empire. So that's kind of
it was basically like any mini money mo, so I'm not mad at the outcome.
Well, that's gonna do it for this one. If you like this, like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, DarkStar Reacts. Check out Patreon if you want to get early access to all our series, and have a wonderful week. Until next time, I'm Anthony.
I'm Tim.
I'm Joey.
And I'm Chris.
We're DarkStar. Thanks for watching, guys.